Today is Thursday, August 5th. It's day 5 of RPG A Day 2021. This is the 5th prompt of RPG A Day 2021, and of the 4 options today, my eye is continually drawn toward the second. Of the 4 choices, which are Throne as the primary prompt, Gamble, Include, and Community, much can be said. And it is a hard choice, but something keeps pulling my eye to Gamble. So it's time to see why that is. As a quick reminder, you will be able to read this response rather than listen to it. You can read it on the Casting Shadows blog at castingshadowsblog.com. And it is our intention to collect together all of the responses each week and release them in one post on YouTube, an audio post, but it will have some video background for interest if you want to look. But let's get on with things. When I think about gaming and how I play characters, I seem to enjoy the opportunity to take calculated risks. To gamble, in other words. Gamble with the dice as, I guess we could say, as some kind of unreliable ally. When I started gaming, some of the risks that you would take, which are most often in combat situations, of course, because most of the situations we were in were combat situations, some of the risks, diminished over time. As the characters improved, as the players improved, some of the risks decreased. With the addition or improvement of useful gear, and the acquisition or development of spells or psychic powers or whatever, and most importantly, with the growing understanding of the abilities and best tactics of the group of people you're playing with and the characters that they're playing, risk could be managed. Some risks, however, were tied to game elements which did not change or improve for the characters, even if they gained experience, gear, and abilities, and greater understanding of each other and their characters. These things were always risky. They were always poor gambles. And unless it was a die not trying, die trying, or luckily survive sort of choice, these would be the things that, they were simply better to avoid than go for. From this, I have learned that I truly do like risk, and I like motivating rewards for the character in an RPG. I like there to be challenge that does not frame things in a context of the character having expectations of success in all things. Balancing that, it's a preference for characters that do have skills and abilities that, if not of note at the start, can become so. I find I lose interest when the characters can expect to always succeed, and I find I lose interest when the characters are unable to succeed. Where I experience the most interest is when the odds can be shifted by what we do, by how we plan, how well we coordinate and execute our contributions to that plan, by what timing, gear, and abilities we bring to the team, and so on. I'm not interested in having things handed to the character and therefore to me. I'm not interested in being balked or prevented as some kind of challenge porn. I am interested in being able to strive and, in striving, shift things to a possibly, or what I believe is possibly better position. I like the factors that define the risk to be open to influence or outright tampering on the character level. When a challenge arises, and it seems all but impossible at first glance, but then slowly resolves into a solid possibility for success, if all the things which could shift the balance of probability fall into sync, that's a little exciting. In that equation, we, the players, matter in how we approach decision and declaration. And our characters matter in who they are and what they can do affects the situation. For me, it's not about rolling and seeing what number comes up. There is excitement there for sure, but I have learned that I prefer a different flavor of thrill. It's not about unassessed risk for some random reward for me. It isn't risk for laughs for me. That simply isn't how I connect with games. For me, it is the calculated risk for the specific reward. The gamble in the sense of the professional gambler. These are the gambles that I like to experience as a player. These are the situations I like to help shape when I am the GM. In our play, today's example of what I'm talking about comes from our ongoing campaign using Leagues of Adventure by Triple Ace Games. The campaign is called The Sky is No Limit, and that title and the campaign itself embodies the spirit of exploration, risk for reward, and trying one's best to swing the odds in one's favor, or die. While I would be happy if readers of the blog were to watch each session, I have included just one that really walks that tightrope of gambles for gain, and you can find the link to that in the show notes of the podcast, or you can go to castingshadowsblog.com and just click the video where it's embedded in the post. Tomorrow is coming. Don't worry. Tomorrow's word of the day is flavor. That is our primary prompt. F for Friday. Flavor. This could be all sorts of things, from the sense to a more artistic sense. The optional words are chase, explore, and path. I wonder what we'll talk about tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Casting Shadows podcast, an extension of the Casting Shadows blog found at castingshadowsblog.com and of our YouTube channel, which is called Runeslinger.